Ohio lawmakers give the Cleveland Browns the money its owners want to build a new stadium in the suburbs. The bill includes $600 million for a new domed stadium in Brook Park, and it changes the language of the Modell law in Ohio to allow the move outside of the city of Cleveland. But the team can't claim victory just yet officially, as that budget goes to the governor for his final approval. And now a new lawsuit challenges the use of the tax dollars that would pay for the new stadium. Former Ohio Attorney General and attorney now, Mark Dan, filed the lawsuit, and he's with us live tonight to talk more about what he hopes to take to court. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, Lindsay. We haven't filed the lawsuit yet. The governor hasn't signed the budget. So once the budget's signed, and assuming the governor doesn't veto this particular part of it, the using unclaimed funds money to give $600 million to a billionaire, Jimmy Haslam, who owns the Browns, then we'll file the lawsuit. I'm hoping the governor will do the right thing, but I'm not optimistic.
Yeah, you're arguing that the state doesn't have the right to use those unclaimed funds in the state of Ohio. Can you explain why you believe that's the case?
Sure. That's your property and my property. If you left you had a refund from a utility company when you moved, or you had a bank account that you forgot about, or for dozens of other reasons, the unclaimed fund money does not belong to the state of Ohio. Ohio is a fiduciary, and they're holding your money for you. And certainly, they should. The state shouldn't just steal that money from you without compensating you for it, and that's what we're asking. So it's a classic taking in violation of the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, and Ohio's Constitution has an even stronger provision against that.
Now, what does the law allow for what has been done under the law with those funds in the past?
They have borrowed against this fund in the past, but in very, very small increments from time to time, and only in the event of emergencies, back when the financial crisis hit back in 2009. But they're talking about taking $1.7 billion out of that fund, and using it for the Browns, and then ultimately for a stadium for the Bengals. It just doesn't make any sense. And for two reasons. One, it's not a public purpose to give money to, and when all the benefit of the stadium is going to go to Jimmy Haslam, it's not a public purpose, and so you can't take people's stuff for things that aren't in the interest of the entire community. Secondly, you can't take their things without compensating them. So unless they can come up with a scheme to make sure people are paid back for the money that they're taking, the state shouldn't be able to take it. And so we're gonna raise those issues with the court, and we'll see what the judges say.
Now, the state budget also changes the Modell law, which was passed in the 90s to protect cities from losing their professional sports teams, like in Cleveland.
Right.
It was used to give cities the chance to buy the team before leaving. But now the way they've rewritten this, it would let them relocate after their lease is up on their stadiums. Does that effectively then end the lawsuit that the Browns have over the law?
Oh, I think it absolutely will end that lawsuit. And if they can't win in court, apparently the Haslams will buy politicians to change the law. I wish I had that kind of power and that kind of money, but unfortunately, most of us don't, and so we can't do that. It's also raises another constitutional problem with this budget. They have packed a whole bunch of things into the budget that have nothing to do with budgeting. Including using the money from the Unclaimed Funds Trust, including this provision about the Brown Stadium, which has nothing to do with it. And there's dozens of other provisions. Ohio's Constitution requires that every bill passed by the General Assembly has to be one single subject. That way there can be a debate and everybody will have their say. Here they've junked this budget up with literally thousands of amendments, mostly for special interests who have made campaign contributions to them, it is really I think many things in that budget are subject to a constitutional challenge because they didn't follow the single subject rule.
All right, we'll see what the governor does if he vetoes anything, and then we'll see what you do next. You say you've got a plan. Thank you so much for joining us here at 5.